Alright guys, welcome to my channel. This is Enki, back with another installment of Division builds, but this one is kind of the screw the meta build, or meta. Some say meta, some say meta, whatever. I want to kind of show you this build. It's, I wouldn't say it's the most powerful build, but it, to me, honestly, it's one of the funnest I've had in a while. It's a very risky build, because you have an SMG, so your critical hit, the distance you can critically hit is shorter, so you have to always be closer to the enemy when you're firing on them. And at least on paper, like down here at the shooting range, you're going to see the damage numbers aren't crazy like assault rifles, so. But as many times as you hit them with critical hit damage and headshot damage, it's actually not terrible. See, so from this distance, just, I mean, you're still doing decent damage for what it is as an SMG, but then you switch, and you go back. So yeah, it's 34. You're doing, you know, it's not, like I said, you're not doing crazy damage, but the build is very fun, and a sweet build. So let's get into it, shall we? So I'm using the MP5 ST because I could stick the damage to elites scope on there, and then I have the chatterbox as my secondary to kind of give me higher RPMs. And then with that I have strained, not stained, Allegro, and then in rhythm. And like I've said before, in rhythm procs more than people realize. 5% chance. I bet you during a mission I could proc that sucker almost 4, 5, 6 times throughout the mission at a minimum. I tried it with this. The vector just isn't cutting it, man. Let's see. And then on the pistol I have the same talent, but I'm actually thinking about rolling this over to this, since I already have that talent on the SMG. So we'll see. More to come on that one. Let's see. Mask. So mask, 2% critical hit chance. If you can get a higher critical hit chance, that'd be great for you. 41% damage to elites. And then here's the chest piece. Now, the chest piece, I'm in a little bit of a conundrum here. I want to keep my critical hit chance, but I'm thinking maybe change the headshot damage to weapon damage, because headshots aren't as big of a deal with this SMG, but at the same time, it helps kind of boost the damage a little bit, especially if you're a PC player. Now, if you're a console player, I recommend changing headshot damage to all weapon damage. Then you don't have to worry as much about it. Headshots, headshots are bonus, whatever. And yes, I've played on console, so I can say that it's very hard to get headshots, at least for me. Some other people are a lot better than I am at it on console. And then critical chance on the holster, and I also have Bloodlust. Now, Bloodlust is kind of tricky. Swapping your weapon. So what I do sometimes, if it's really crazy while you're on whatever mission you're on, I'll swap the weapon, and then I'll just use the chatterbox to proc Bloodlust, and then reverse it so Bloodlust stays up the whole time, every time you switch. And you get that increased damage. And yes, it is tedious and a pain in the butt, but sometimes, like when you're fighting a boss, that damage is what you need. Let's see, backpack. So the backpack, I have weapon damage, critical hit chance, and then health. Health could be better, but, you know, it is what it is. And with the RNG in this game, it's freaking hard. For the gloves, I have one with 12. It's right here. And I'm not sure. I tried clutch, and frankly, I think they nerfed it way too much. It's just not worth using when you're getting shot at. So I'm using Obliterate to kind of boost this build, because this build depends on critical hit damage. So when you break that armor and you get that extra 25% on top of the fact that you're losing armor and you're getting more critical hit damage here, you're pushing out a lot of power, especially when I think I'm doing like 75 critical hit, so 75k every critical hit, and then with the boost from this, I think the headshot damage gets to about 55 or 60. So you're doing 55 critical hit, 75, 55 critical hit, 7. So it's more powerful than it looks on paper, like I said. Whoops. And then we're going to the knee pads. Knee pads have critical hit chance. I did use cloaked, and the reason why I don't have anything to, like, I just don't have, if I could get one of these with this talent, I'd rather use that for PvE, but I'm trying to look for a PvP build with this to see how this would work, see if it'll work out. Anyway, for now I use cloaked, because if the enemies, or a couple of them are right on top of you and this procs, it actually disrupts them and disorients them. So it gives you a minute of, you know what I mean, avoiding damage while you're shooting them. And then, so it actually works pretty decently, and I'll show it once we play the game here. Hopefully we get to play. We got too many people belling on us lately. Anyway, and it keeps saying I have something in here, so that must be a bug. This is annoying. The drone, so I use the Defender drone, and I got to fix this. I'm still working on this. I got to log into other characters and move some stuff over, but the biggest one is the damage ones. I think the taking damage or the health mods. I put the the boost, the auxiliary battery here, and then I do the health mods here. And I think on one of my builds I got like 60%. So this thing, minus the time going down for it to die, can take a lot of hits and mitigate, I think on my other character, at least 10 seconds worth of damage, which is a lot when you're in a fight. And then this, I need to, yeah, I gotta get another auxiliary mod for this so I can get some better heals out of it, because I don't heal any other way. Other than that, that's pretty much how the build is. The sticky is great if you got like a mob that's not paying attention. You throw it in the middle of them and just start shooting them. And you can also change that out to just a grenade. It's up to you. But like I said, these two, this one I'm definitely working on here after this video to get this better done up. And this I'm going to change to that talent there, overlap, so get a little better handling on my main weapon. Let's see, I think that's about it. I did a little shooting range. The shooting range doesn't bring this build justice, but also just to note, if you're going to use this build, you really have to be on your toes, and you are in the face of your enemy a lot of the time. So the maps where you're doing a lot of distance shooting, if you don't care to use the chatterbox, I recommend getting a DMR, putting a little damage into a DMR, and then you can shoot them from a distance.
You have received an invite to another.
So we'll play about a little 5-10 minutes of this mission to show you how it works. I'll probably get dropped, who knows. I'm not tough, I'm a little squishy. I think my armor, which I need to show that, is 250,000.
Safe area
Close to
detected.
250,000, and my health is like way low. So armor leaves, one bullet knocks you down. So you have to be careful with that. And then the stats. So we've seen all that. So 60% critical hit chance, and then damage. And then if you include the 25%, that bumps it up. Headshot damage, not so bad. But as you can see, SMG damage 44%, all weapon damage. So you're looking at 55%. I put a little damage into this, and honestly I'm thinking about getting rid of the chatterbox, putting a DMR on her to help out. Yep, other than that, that's really it, man. Just great. Oh, and then damage to elites isn't the greatest, but it's not truly a big deal. I would like it to be above 70 for PvE, but I think PvP, I'm going to try it out eventually to see how this works in PvP. Anyway, we're just... Oh good, he's already there. Let's get started. So again, remember, if you're going to do this build, honestly, this build's kind of refreshed.
Looks like they're coming from the DCD complex.
cautious.
Whatever's happening over there, we need to shut it
I have to
down.
be very cautious on how I play with this build, but at the same time, I also have to be close. So.
Another agent is
And then
now
you switch, and then you switch. But from this distance, you still do decent damage. Like I said, it's not really bad. Could be better, but the problem is you have to get close. That is the
another
downside.
agent has joined your group.
So then you switch like this. Boom. I think it's I think it's a fun build. Definitely a lot harder to use than all the rest of them. It's a lot less safe. I'm just running around after him. Oh, what the hell?
Active terminal detected.
Anyway,
See if you can hook Isaac into that terminal
it's
and get
also
us
a
some
habit for
intel.
me to pop that drone as soon as I lose armor. It's just like muscle memory. And I think every time I roll, I get... No, maybe that's not the right tell. Is that damage?
Immediate medical assistance needed.
So then you can switch.
Connection established. DCD data stream enabled.
Alright, let's see what we've got. There's an active lab on the north side close to you. Your first priority should be to shut that down. Looks like the best way to take the lab offline is a decontamination protocol.
That's just a fancy way of saying everything
there's
gets
gear up there.
sterilized.
Isaac's not detecting the gas near the decom
We'll do these
process.
close quarter rooms.
It
This
must
is
have
actually a
disabled the
perfect
line.
map for this.
Hit the main fuel line in the basement. That should get it flowing again.
Grab this gear. It's probably crap, but you know, you never know. Did get some decent
Open
materials
the
out of
fuel
it.
line. That should give the decom protocol enough gas to run.
Also, the accessories on this weapon could be better. Maybe I'll show that here after this. The magazine's good. Have a better muzzle though. So then you switch. If I can find anybody. Nope. Oh man.
Serious trauma detected. Immediate medical assistance needed.
See, it's just
Agent
you're
down.
very squishy, so you have to be, I don't know. You have to be careful with what you're doing. That's why I'm thinking about doing that DMR, so when they're at a distance, I can still put some pain on them. Instead of chatterbox. Let's see if we can do it. Oh, look at those damage numbers, boys. 80k. Oh, there we go. He's in here, I think.
An agent needs assistance.
So anyway, I forgot to show the what's on here. So you've got the damage to elites, 20 rounds, critical hit damage,
The decontamination
stability.
protocol
I
can be
wish I
initiated
could
from a
change
panel
this
in the lab above
to
you.
either more critical hit
Stay
damage
put once you pull
or
the trigger,
damage to
and you should
elites.
be safe. Top floor. You can't
Other
miss
than
it.
that, guys,
It's right in the middle of the lab.
thank you for watching this video. Like I said, this build is it's interesting. It's an interesting build. It's still powerful, but you're still squishy, and you still have to be careful with what you're doing. So, appreciate you guys watching this one, and I hope that you guys try it out at least. And thank you for watching. Like I said, see you later.